All righty. Thank you so much, Nikki. And thank you for all of our panelists for being here with us today. So today we're going to talk about pathways to fund education for adult learners. Um, and to get us started, we're going to be talking with Wanda Theobald. And is Patricia with us today too? Patricia Dushuttle from SNAP Employment and Training.
She is not with us today.
Okay, so it looks like we'll just be hearing are we going in a different order, Nikki? Sorry. Nikki, you're on mute.
We did decide to mix it up because the last session we had Jackie last, and I feel like I shortchanged her, so we moved it around. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So I guess I'll just introduce Jackie first. So you get the spotlight. So Jackie Shannon from Maine Community Foundation is going to talk to us today a little bit about their programs that they provide. So thank you so much, Jackie, for being with us.
Hi. Yes. So as I was introduced, I'm Jackie. I manage the scholarship program at the Maine Community Foundation. I do want to apologize in advance because I have a sick child home today. So if she comes out, you might hear that, or you might hear a dog bark. So apologies in advance. That's why I'm always on mute. Okay. So I'm going to really focus on just the adult learner program today. I think a lot of people have heard about the adult learner program because it's just so big, but I also want to note that we have we have nearly 750 scholarships. I think we have 740 right now, different scholarships. And so just because they don't fall under that adult learner umbrella doesn't mean that adults can't apply for them. So there are some scholarships that adults can also apply for. And I don't know if you can go to the next slide. So this is our website. It has been redesigned. There is another redesign coming. So keep checking it out. If you go to that blue ribbon across the top, go to scholarships, go to available scholarships. Next slide. You're going to come to this page. This is an important page to go to. So we have scholarships mostly divided by region, but also that top one for adult learners right there is important. But I always tell people to click on everything that might apply to you. So click on that adult learner page and it'll have all of the adult learner scholarships, but also click on available statewide. Click on the county you live in right now and the county you're from. So the county you graduated high school from. So for example, we have some scholarships for Aroostook County and Washington County that it doesn't matter when you graduated from high school. It could have been 30 years ago. And it doesn't matter where you live now. You could live in Cumberland County, you could live in, Androscoggin County, but if you graduated from that high school in Aroostook County, you're eligible for that scholarship. So really make sure that you just click on every single thing that could possibly apply to you and check it out. So you would hit that apply online blue button right there. If you, next slide. It's going to take you to all of our applications for the Adult Learner Scholarship are online. So it's an umbrella scholarship. It has, I think, 6 or 7 different funds. You only have to fill out one application for that Adult Learner Scholarship, and it'll apply that whole program, all of those scholarships, if you do that one application. So you only have to meet one of our adult learner criteria to be considered an adult learner. And there are 5 or 6 of them. It's be over the age of 25, work at least 30 hours a week, be considered independent, like not listed as a dependent on your parents' taxes, have a dependent other than a spouse. So if you have a child, or somebody else you're taking care of, or have a alternate diploma, not a traditional high school diploma. So if you got a GED or a high set, it doesn't matter what age you are, you only have to meet one of those. So you don't necessarily have to be over the age of 25 to be considered an adult learner. You could be 18 and working full time and living on your own and be considered an adult learner. You just have to meet one of those. So you would log in or register. If you haven't created an account, you do have to create an account. We don't send spam. SurveyMonkey doesn't send spam. What I suggest to people is if you have an email address that you've had for 20 or 25 years, you might be getting tons of spam, right? And you have all the stuff that goes to your junk folder. So Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, they're free. So just you could put like Jackie Shannon College at gmail.com or yahoo.com or Jackie scholarships and use it for all of your scholarship applications. And that way, all of that information just goes to that email account and you're not going to lose anything. It's not going to get lost in your junk. It's not going to get, sent to spam. And you can use that for everything. It's also the way I communicate with you. So if I see a problem with your application, if the deadline is coming up and you haven't submitted yet, if you're eligible for renewal, I'm going to do everything with that email that you register for this account with. So if it gets lost in your spam and you miss the renewal, there's nothing I can do, right? Okay. Do I have any more slides? I don't know. I think, okay, 2 more. So I've already went all through. You have to fill out an account. You also have to fill out the eligibility quiz. So it's like 5 questions, just asks where you graduated high school, if you're considered an adult learner, and where you're going to college. So what I also suggest to people is you can fill out that eligibility quiz as many times as you want. So if your choice on a school really depends on what you're going to get for scholarships or what you might get for scholarships, fill out with every school, fill it out a different time for every school you plan on attending. Because we do have some scholarships that are specific to universities or colleges, like the Maine system or the community college system, or, specifically USM or specifically UMaine. So fill it out for every school that you plan on applying for. It's not set in stone. You can do it as many times as you want. You're going to click programs at the top, and all of those scholarships that you're eligible for will pop up for you. The adult learner, if you're eligible for that, will pop up for you. And then whichever ones for the high schools you might have gone to. So the adult learner, as I said, is one application. But if you are eligible for other ones, then it would be a separate application. So it's just the adult learner is a whole list of scholarships that is that one application. Let's see. I know I talked really fast. I usually do. If you have gone through the website and you have seen some scholarships that you think you're eligible for and they didn't pop up for you, email me. Email me and say, Jackie, I am positive I'm eligible for this scholarship. It didn't pop up for me. And I can go in and I can look at your account and I can see what happened. Or I can look at the eligibility on our side and maybe we've made a mistake. And that has happened before where I've been like, oh my gosh, we don't have this high school listed as eligible. And I had a student last year email me and say, I am positive I'm eligible for this. And it was a mistake on our end. So that happens. So if you think you're eligible for something, please contact me and we can figure out why you're not eligible for it or why it's not popping up for you. The next slide is just my contact information. I'm the scholarship manager. My colleague, Brittany, is also at the foundation and works with me. Any one of us can answer your questions about scholarships, about what you might be eligible for. The adult learner is such a good program. We've got that long-term degree seeking scholarship program. We also have a short-term certification or licensure program that's a paper application. You can get both at the same time. So for example, if you're going to school to be an RN and while you're going to school, you want to be a CNA, but you need to get that certificate, you can apply for both at the same exact time. That's like I said, paper application. It's a rolling deadline. So as soon as you send it to me, I'll send it to the committee and the committee will vote on it within about 2 weeks. So that's a really, really quick turnaround for that short-term scholarship program.
I will mention that you said last time you had an intern that is doing scholarship
Oh, yes.
that I did send to some
I
adult ed folks, because I feel like my adult learners really, like, they think they don't write good essays. They really do, actually. But like,
Mhm.
who couldn't use some extra help with the essays? So just
Yeah. So, yes, thank you so much for bringing that up because I didn't, I should have added that to my slides. We do have 3 interns this year who are just doing outreach, nothing else. They are just traveling to different schools, different they are going to libraries, they're going to YMCA's, they're going to the Portland Housing Authority next week. I mean, they are just going everywhere they possibly can to talk about our scholarships and to help students apply for them. So there are also some essay workshops like at South Portland Adult Ed, that one's coming right up. And we're also doing virtual office hours. So that's all on our website. So where it said available scholarships and it was by region, that's like an old right here. That screenshot I took before they they added an orange button underneath that blue one that says upcoming scholarship workshops. So click on that and it'll give you all of that information and it'll have the links to the virtual office hours. Um, and they're doing virtual office hours that apply to specific scholarships. So they'll do it like 2 weeks before the deadline for that scholarship. You can log on and ask any questions you want. And they're also doing kind of general. They're doing an adult learner one. They're doing just general traditional scholarship information. And that's all on there. And anything that's online, anyone can join it. You could be a parent, you can be a student, you can be an educator. You don't have to be affiliated with a specific school or a specific program. Anyone can join those scholarship office hours and go in and ask questions. And it's like a pop in, pop out, pop in, ask your question. You don't have to stay for the whole, 2 hours of office hours or whatever. They're also doing them at high schools, like I said. So if your child goes to a high school and they haven't had a scholarship workshop, go ahead and request one and we can do it.
nice. Want to remind folks, I got the chat and the Q&A open. If there's any questions that you have, feel free to throw those in. But for right now, Jackie is going to stay with us.
Yep.
I'm going to move on to Carol Savoy with the Hope program to tell us about this amazing program. Go ahead, take it away, Hope.
Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Carol Savoy. I'm a senior planner with the HOPE program. HOPE stands for Higher Opportunities for Pathways to Employment. We are a program to assist those parenting children under the age of 18 to go back to school for education or training. Go ahead to the next slide. We are administered by the Office of Family Independence, the same folks that do Maine Care and SNAP and TANF benefits. We do provide that financial support to qualified parenting students for costs related to training and education beyond high school. We can't assist with the high set or any of those degree completion programs, but once you've got that degree completion, we may be able to help moving forward. We also supply student navigators to help students stay in school and to complete their programs of study by providing wraparound services. And we'll talk a little bit more about the types of services our pathway navigators can help with. Go ahead. Our goals are to improve the parents' access to quality education. When I say quality education, we look at all of the programs that our students want to engage in to make sure that they are accredited, that they're going to provide a credential of value that will result in higher earning power once those are completed. We want to promote educational successes by providing financial and navigator support. We're going to increase the economic prosperity through the attainment of credentials of value. I was talking to somebody at an event last night who was a CNA and explaining just how much the next level of nursing training, going up to an LPN or licensed practical nurse, the increase in earnings power is almost double between a CNA and an LPN. And it's a matter of months worth of training if you already have your CNA certificate. So those are the sorts of conversations we're having with some of our parents. And we want to open and expand those career pathways that build family well-being and fill Maine's workforce needs. We always go back to nursing because we've heard so much after the pandemic about the nursing shortage. And since the pandemic has eased, the burnout of nurses who are leaving the profession to go do something else because of the stress that was put on them. That is going to be a constant rolling need as folks in the healthcare industry. So we talk a lot about that, but it's not just about nursing or healthcare. We want to help people get to the next level no matter what career they're pursuing. Electrician, truck driver, going from a class B CDL where you drive a dump truck or a school bus up to a class A can mean an extra $50,000 or $60,000 a year in income for a family. And that again is it's a commitment, a time commitment of maybe a month or two to get to that next level.
Kara, can I ask a question before we move
sure.
on? I don't suppose you have an infographic already built showing like how valuable these extra credentials are. I feel like that could be a great resource.
That would be a great resource. I don't have anything. It's something we talk about a lot, but I'm going to develop one.
When you have it, you share it with us, okay?
I absolutely will, Nikki.
I'll put it on the FA 101 website. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, next slide. Education is a marathon for all of you involved in education. For students, we know that it doesn't necessarily take 2 years to get a 2-year degree. For folks, particularly adults who are parenting and working, it is a huge commitment. I myself am a parenting working student, so I understand the commitment. I try to take 2 classes a semester. It doesn't always work out that way, but we understand the struggles of our parenting students, and we're going to support them until they get to that finish line.
Oh.
Again, we want to address those education-related financial challenges faced by parenting students and offer the education navigators for parents, so parents can address matters that get in the way of completing their higher education. Go ahead to the next one. What we found is when we put those 2 things together, what we end up with is students who can complete their courses of study. When we talk about those wraparound services, we are talking about services like helping folks who are experiencing housing insecurity or food insecurity or domestic violence or substance use disorder related situations, whether it be one of our students is experiencing substance use disorder or a family member who has to contend with those challenges of having somebody in their home. The navigators are going to help. That's just a small sampling of what they do outside of Hope's purview, but those are the types of services that our navigators can help with so that our students can persist with their education. Hope is available to Maine residents ages 16 to 64. They need to be U.S. citizens or qualifying non-citizens. We can help folks who are U.S. citizens, refugees, asylees, certain specific immigrants from countries like Afghanistan, Cuba, Haiti, the Haitian immigrants. Been a long week. And we have a criteria. Unfortunately, we don't have any state funds available to us, so we can't help those other groups of non-citizens at this time. But we will take a look at every application and see if there's a way we can qualify folks. They have to be a higher education student, either accepted to or enrolled in an eligible program beyond high school. We do look toward the Department of Labor's list of those high wage in demand jobs to determine whether or not something is going to result in a credential that's going to help people elevate their status. And they can't already have a marketable bachelor's degree. We do have folks come to us that have a bachelor's degree. I'm going to go back to nursing because we do have people who are trying to leave the nursing profession. If they've already got that 4-year degree, we can't help them because that degree is marketable in ways other than doing on the floor in-person nursing. If somebody has an associate degree in nursing, if they're an RN, then maybe we can help them. So we're going to have to look at every application on a case-by-case basis, but if somebody has a marketable bachelor's degree, we're not going to be able to help them any further than that. Okay, go ahead. We do have 800 slots available to fill. We call them opportunities, and we have currently right around 500 students at any time. So we have 300 opportunities to help additional Maine parenting students. If a student is at or below 225% of the federal poverty level, which is right around $4,800 for a family of 3 per month. If they have assets at or below $10,000. That doesn't include their home or primary vehicle. We exclude those. So anything assets above and beyond that. We're talking bank accounts, extra homes, extra vehicles, snowmobiles, RVs, those sorts of things. And we do not count the income of the minor children. Minor children, the income could be child support, it could be Social Security benefits. Any of those things do not count in the HOPE budget because that is money that is designed specifically to care for the child, not to educate the parent. So we don't include that in the budget. Okay. All right, this is the fun one. Get your clicker ready, Nikki.
I'm ready.
So if a student is caring for a child under 18, has income that falls at or below 225% of the federal poverty level, is not receiving a monthly TANF benefit. We are funded from the same pot of money that funds that monthly cash benefit for folks, so they can't get money from both funds in the same calendar month. Is attending or accepted into a training or education program beyond high school, and does not have a marketable bachelor's degree. If you're working with somebody who fits all of those criteria, HOPE may be an answer. We might be able to help those folks. Okay. A little bit more about our navigators. They're campus-based. We just had our quarterly meeting with our navigators yesterday. They are now assigned on a campus basis. So we have one navigator who covers NMCC, UMPI, and UMFK, as well as any other small programs like adult ed programs in that region. So that's sort of how they're assigned. And we have 7 navigators statewide. And the services are free and voluntary. So if somebody says, I got enough people calling to try to help me, I love the help, but enough is enough, we're not going to make somebody participate in the pathway navigation. Or they can opt in, opt out. If they might not talk to their navigator for 6 months, but then they might run into something that is above and beyond what they can handle, they can check in and say, I need some help. And the navigators are there to help them. And there's never any fee for our services. Okay, so HOPE can help with tuition and fees up to $6,000 per calendar year. And we can also assist with prior tuition if it is preventing somebody from enrolling in school, up to $1,500 in a lifetime. So if somebody had a false start at education, it didn't work out and they didn't know quite how to withdraw properly, and they ended up with a balance at their school that's preventing them from re-enrolling, we may be able to help them with that. Child care. This is one of our most used benefits. Child care, I know personally, for the 2 kids that I'm in charge of, would be $500 a week. A week for 2 children who are not in school. So we can help it at the market rate. We can help with transportation up to $140 per week based on mileage from home, school, to childcare, to work and back, or any combination of that at 50 cents per mile. We can help with books, supplies, tools, and equipment. We're talking about toolkits for the trades. If you're in HVAC or welding or any of those programs, we can help. Any place that needs work boots, safety gear. We can also help with stethoscopes, nursing shoes, scrubs, as well as the traditional books and supplies. Technology. Most of our students need a computer. So we do offer up to $500 in a lifetime toward a computer for students. We pay up to $50 per month toward internet for qualified students because most students are at least doing some of their education from home. Vehicle related expenses. So we're talking about repairs, registration, insurance, inspection. We do this, the insurance is separate. It's $600 a year toward the liability portion of somebody's insurance, and then $1,000 toward everything else. Up to $200 a year toward corrective eyewear with a prescription. We can assist with dental if there is a dental issue within the smile line, or if there is dental pain that is preventing somebody from being successful in their education or their job search. And other supports. The one other support that we're paying a lot this time of year is the NCLEX exam. When nurses graduate from nursing school, they have to take the board exams called the NCLEX. They also need to get fingerprinted and pay their state licensing fees. All of that can add up to almost $500, which may as well be $5 million for somebody who hasn't started work yet. So we can help with that to get them on their feet. We rely on our relationships with our other partners. We work, MEOC sends a ton of students our way. We refer people to the Maine Community Foundation in our literature every day. Wanda's SNAP education and training. We co-enroll folks with them all the time. We work with CCSP, CSSP, I always get those two confused, and EMDC on a regular basis. So, and we value our partners. And we can be reached at all of these ways. We're a team of 6. So if you reach out to the Hope team, you're going to get myself, one of the other 2 senior planners, or one of our eligibility specialists who's going to be able to help you or your students. Any questions? I know I ran through that pretty quick.
That's okay. I don't see any questions yet. Again, I think Carol will stay with us if you have them. Feel free. We'll, if we have some time at the end, we can always ask for some more questions.
Great.
All right, I'm going to jump right into Terry Mann. Thanks, Carol. Go ahead, take it away, Terry.
Thank you, Nikki. My name is Terry Mann. I'm the service coordinator for the Maine Educational Opportunity Center. We are part of the TRIO family. The EOC program is statewide. We work with individuals who are seeking some type of advanced training or completing their high school credential. We've been in existence since 1991, and it shocks me every time I say that. Over the years, we've helped over 19,000 individuals enter higher education. So there's a lot of folks that we have worked with that maybe haven't gotten that degree and done some short-term training, but certainly a majority of them enroll in higher education. Our services are kind of directed towards first generation low income individuals. But we do have a lot of wiggle room in that it's an either or. You can be a first generation or low income or both or not. So the services are provided the same regardless of eligibility. And many of the services overlap some of the other partners that we have on the panel. Our goal is to help folks develop a plan for higher education that meets their personal needs, goals, and families' needs and wants. We help them by identifying training that's available in their community, helping them get connected with support agencies that can help with funding, whether it be a scholarship or connecting with the HOPE program or Department of Labor and workforce development programs, so that that person has the support that they need to be successful. And I don't think any of us would disagree that it really takes many hands in the mix to help families be successful. Where the MEOC program, we don't have funds to help pay for supports. We know that our partners are there in what communities we're serving and making that soft handoff so that that individual feels comfortable and supported and encouraged and can build their career path in a way that, I don't want to say it brings harm to their family, but where they're in a situation where they may not be able to continue if a car breaks down, or if they need tires or childcare, or they're food insecure. So we're like all of us, we look at the whole family, the whole individual, and try to connect them with the resources that are going to meet their need. The career development piece that we work towards is really getting to know that individual and their interests and their skill sets, so that if they're needing help filtering through what's available in my community, what would be a great fit for me, we take that time on the pre-side of training and getting them ready to choose a career path that that is a good fit for them personally, connect them with the financial resources to help them with providing support that they may need along the way, helping them with the admissions process, and being that voice or the support for them while they're in the process. We many times and often are connecting with people at that point where they are needing their high school completion and following them through to college graduation and encouraging them to connect with employment support so that that employment piece is part of the conversation. Our non-traditional students that we serve, many of them are parenting or have become unemployed because of a layoff, have come out of some kind of transition in their life where they're looking for change. So we gather as much information as we can about that person and supports within their community to make that fit something that can carry them through. If there is a stumbling block along the way, we're able to carry that person through that time period that they might need a break in school. And when they're ready to return to school, we're there to help them get back in. Financial aid is an area that we focus on, and with the great training from FAME, our advisors are able to work with folks in it and providing them with encouragement and support and an ear when FAFSAs are on the table and help them with the filing of their FAFSA and reminding them of their renewals and supporting them if they have to reach out to folks to correct or change or modify or gathering the documents that they need, and understanding the process. Financial aid, typically, people think of financial aid, all the free money is great. Many of our students do tap into student loans. If they have a prior student loan and are in default and want to return to school, we help them resolve that issue, and help them understand loans and the choice of a loan and how that impacts them, not just in terms of getting that money in their hand in that hot minute, but long-term. And guiding them to programs, again, to avoid that loan debt. We're fortunate in Maine that we have a lot of programs that are building, helping families build their income, wealth, and education so that they can stay, work, live, grow in Maine, grow their families in Maine. And that's what we want. We want to keep that loan debt to a minimum, and not be a deterrent for either entering school or returning to school. And for many of our students, I'm not sure which of the panelists said, it sometimes takes our students a little bit longer to graduate. The 4-year degree, the 2-year degree, we talk in terms of associate's degree, baccalaureate degree, because many of our students take 4, 6, 7 years to graduate. And we want them to know that we're there for the long haul, just like them. We're there to support them, do check-ins, helping them prepare for those next steps in their educational journey. If there is a time where they need to take a break, we are still there as their resource to encourage them to completion, and to give them, that support and know that they have someone in their corner helping them along the way. We meet with folks virtually or in person. We do group sessions, we do individual sessions, we do meet with families. The important thing is meeting the family where they're at and what's most convenient for them. The flyer that that Nikki has up has the list of all of our advisors, and so we cover the state. We have folks up in the county and York County and Western Maine and the coast. And applying or referring someone is super easy. They click on that QR code, they fill out to meet with an advisor, and they're electronically matched with an advisor. And then that person can then connect with the individual or family and start the process. We do work with adult eds, we work with outreach centers, recovery centers. We do visit many of the county jails and the state prisons, and work with folks that are returning to their communities and help them, again, develop a path that can lead them to that new life and help them get a fresh start. So we are encouraging any program that for the HOPE program, for EPSET, for any program that those students that are unsure about what they want to do and haven't been accepted into a program yet, that, you know, we're here to help with that, and encourage you to send them our way as well. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
No questions, and in the interest of time, I'm going to move on. Thank you so much, Terry. I feel like you and I are both hubs, right? We're a hub to connect other people.
Absolutely.
I'm going to hand it over to Mary Ann Young, Eastern Maine Development Corp. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Nikki. I'm probably going to sound repetitive because EMDC does a lot of what these other agencies do. We do partner with everybody on here. Eastern Maine Development Corporation is the service provider for federal grant funding money known as WIOA. It's a law. It's the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And we serve 9 counties in the state of Maine. It's divided into 2 regions, the Northeast, which is Penobscot, Piscataquis, Hancock, and Washington counties, and Central Western Maine, which covers 5 counties, Somerset, Kennebec, Androscoggin, Franklin, and Oxford. I didn't repeat any, right? Hard to remember. Rolls right off the tongue. So we like to say we're a jobs program. We help people find and or maintain employment. And we help people get to employment either through education, up to an associate's degree, certificate program, short-term education program, through a short-term training like HVAC or plumbing or lineman or medical assistant, certified nursing assistant, IT, any basic short-term training you can think of that would lead directly to employment, we would support. And also direct employment. We work with the Maine Apprenticeship Program, the career centers. I have connections with lots of businesses, and if I don't, somebody I work with does, and we can make that connection for you to help with resume or interviewing skills, or, you know, basically help you with whatever you need, even if it doesn't cost money. It will never cost you money. We use federal grant funding money to help. If you are eligible, and eligibility criteria is a little bit different depending on which age range or group you fall into. It's either a dislocated worker, if you've lost your job through no fault of your own, you're collecting unemployment, you would be eligible for services. If you are an adult but fall into that low income category, if you receive any type of general assistance, if you are receiving SNAP benefits or TANF, you can be co-enrolled with us and those agencies, and what they can't pay for, we will. What we can't pay for, they will. And we braid funding to make sure that you have everything you need that would be a challenge or a barrier to you going through that training or education leading to employment. And in some cases, if you're if you find a job, you're offered employment, and they require you to have $600 worth of tools, we will help you buy those tools. So it is not all about paying for training or education. We do offer other career services like resume, interviewing skills, connecting with employers. I don't know if it's a great idea to go over all of the eligibility requirements, but I will say specifically about youth who are, up to age 24. If you are pregnant or parenting, you are eligible. If you receive SNAP benefits or TANF, you are eligible. Dislocated worker, eligible. And what the process would be is, and I will list it in the chat, all you do is connect with an email or a phone number that you can also text, and just leave your name, your county, and where you heard about us, and we will connect with you within 5 days, and you are automatically connected to a workforce development specialist who will go over all of your eligibility, everything you need, and help you with career decisions. You don't have to know what you want to do to connect with us. We can help you with those career choices, whether it be a training, going back to school, maybe you need, money right away and you need to go right to work. You can go to work and still be eligible for training. And I know I emphasized a lot about eligibility, but if you are not eligible, we refer, and you've heard it a lot, we refer you to all of these other agencies. Just because you're not eligible now doesn't mean you won't always be. So you can check in with us periodically if your circumstances change. We've been around for a long time. We're certainly willing and able to just answer questions that you may have about our programming. I will leave the website address in the chat as well. We also have a new-ish type of grant. It's called the Quest Grant, and that helps traditionally underserved populations get to all of those services that I talked about. So it's people of color, people who have been out of the workforce for a really long time, new Mainers. We work with new Mainers all the time. The only thing we require is that you have a work authorization. Federal funding does not allow us to work with people without a work authorization because at the heart of it, we are a jobs program. But again, just because we're working with you or you're attending an adult ed and you don't have your work authorization yet, doesn't mean you can't obtain it and then work with us. Even partway through school or training, if there are mods, we'd still be able to help you. And one of the only things we're really not able to do is if you have a marketable degree. This is a program intended for people to get into employment or the workforce. And if you already have a marketable degree, even if you don't use it in that traditional way, like accounting, maybe you do small bookkeeping for different firms, or and typically we don't support self-employment employment opportunities. There's just no way to determine who's going to be self-employed and collecting all the data and the taxes and things like that, because we do need to account for our spending. So we do need to know that you're entering a high wage, in demand occupation with benefits, because it's found that that is a better opportunity for most. Does anybody have any questions? I know that's a whole lot of information up front, but really the best way to find out if this is for you, just contact us.
I think I send a lot of people your way. I may, account for like 80% of your intake, but thank you so much. And please feel free to throw things in the chat. I'm
I
gonna
will do
move
that
on.
right now. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna throw it over to Wanda, who works for the Maine SNAP Employment and Training Program, which again, I'm sending so many people to you because it's such a great program, but jump in.
Thank you, Nikki. I am Wanda Theobald from the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Family Independence. I'm the senior planner here, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about SNAP employment and training. And it's very similar, as Marianne said, to many other programs that people are talking about here. I will say that we do have a new campaign running that you'll probably hear more about in the near future, called More Than a Job. I just wanted to bring that up. There's a copy of one of the posters there with code that people can just scan and get into SNAP employment and training information for the state of Maine. They actually, from that QR code, can get into information anywhere in the United States, because SNAP employment and training is a program that all states must have. It's required. The state of Maine is a voluntary program. There are a few in the country that are mandatory for people, but in the state of Maine, it's voluntary. You can go to the next slide, Nikki. Thank you. So SNAP ENT is funded by the USDA. It's a free program to people who are receiving federal SNAP benefits. Federal SNAP benefits are a little different than a lot of people, maybe new Mainers, are receiving state SNAP benefits, and they don't know the difference. So, and most people don't. We don't. It's a mirror program. It's just funded by the state instead of federal. So, in order to be eligible for SNAP employment and training, someone has to be receiving federal SNAP benefits. They have to be 16 or older, not receiving TANF cash assistance. Now, I will say there can be TANF in the household. Sometimes there's child-only benefits. So as long as they're not on the TANF grant, they can be accepted. And they have to be willing and able to accept work on completion. So I would like to tell you that SNAP is 60 years old this year, so it's been around a long time, also known as food supplement or a few other things. When someone is enrolled in SNAP employment and training, that doesn't affect their SNAP eligibility benefits at all. So if they start and they decide they don't want to join or continue to be in the program, they can quit, and we don't penalize them by taking away their SNAP benefits or anything like that. So they can start it, they can stop it, like many other programs on here. We're just here to help remove barriers like transportation, childcare, paying for tuition. We can pay $3,000 for part-time, up to $6,000 for full-time for education. We have a lot of students that are co-enrolled in HOPE. CSSP is one of our SNAP employment and training providers. We have 5 providers with 6 programs in the state of Maine right now. We're statewide. We offer so many different programs. There's an awesome program in Lewiston, Auburn called Strength in LA. That's through the Chamber of Commerce there. And theirs is more of a job-ready program that we're really happy to partner with. So again, our program, what makes us a little different also is we're a reimbursement program. So our providers pay for barrier removal, transportation, those kind of things, and we reimburse them 50% of what they pay. And once they receive that 50% reimbursement, it's no longer considered federal funds. So they can use that monies to keep the SNAP employment and training funding going. So providers, we generally look for, like the HOPE program, they can be the first dollar in because they are not looking for, they're not reimbursing someone, they're paying for the full benefit. For SNAP employment and training, we try to be the last dollar in just because our budget is so small. And so we do what we can working with other people to try to find other benefits as well to get the max for the person. We try not to have them have any student loans because we know, student loans are really hard to repay when you're not working especially. So we work really hard at trying to make sure we do the full benefit in one way or another. You can go to the next slide, please. So these are the services or some of the services that we offer for SNAP employment and training. The biggest one I feel like is being offering the coaching, having someone go over, what do you want to do? What are your likes, your dislikes? What do you have? What are your family needs? What are your barriers? That coaching is such an important part of our program and helps us succeed. Sometimes someone just needs to learn the bus route. How do you get a bus pass? How does that work? Or they just need an update their resume. We have served 219 people, participants since October, and we're going strong. We can serve up to 300 people, so we have room for any of those people you want to refer to us. We're really happy to do that. Again, we're removing barriers very similar to everyone else that has been talking. We can do car repair up to $1,000. We can do books, tools, equipment, all of those things we can help. And the person doesn't have to have a child. They do not have to be matriculated, or they don't even have to know what they want to do. We will work with them. We'll go over all kinds of things that they are eligible for. So I know I'm so excited about our program. I always say it's Maine's best kept secret because there's so much help here for people that they're not aware of. We've helped 8 participants get their HiSET this year. And that's huge, right? Because you can't even get a job generally without a HiSET. So I just feel like the program has a lot to offer, like all of the other programs. To reach us, you can, there's how to sign up. You can reach out to me. That is my phone number, the 624-4196. Or you can email the OFI snapet@maine.gov. That is also my email address. So you can reach out to me directly if you have any questions or concerns. Please reach out to me. This is a wonderful program, and I appreciate being here today. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, I appreciate all of you all being here. That is amazing. Just want to let you know that we've got the contact information all over the state. There's one of you everywhere, I think, and I certainly utilize your services. I'm gonna end now because we have lunch coming up, but I just wanted to say thank you all for coming. And please reach out to these organizations because they are the people in my basket. Like I am constantly referring people because these services are so amazing. I never thought in my career of 27 years that there'd be this much help to pay for education. So thank you all for everything that you do.